Okay, well, David, Giancarlo, very nice to meet you. So you play Monroe, David, and you play Neville in Revolution. I wonder if you could just, for people who haven't seen the show before, just tell us a little bit about your characters and where we find them at the start of the season.
Well, at the start of the season, it's 15 years after a blackout, and in Philadelphia, in that area around it, a militia has risen, and it's being helmed by General Sebastian Monroe, which is the character that I play. Now, considered by many to be a villain, considered by himself to be a man that's motivated by I'm not sure.
You'll find it, baby.
He's motivated by a deep set loss, and we start to explore that throughout the 20 episodes that we've done, and moreover through the second season.
Captain Tom Neville, you find him really grouchy. He's been in the field for 2 years looking for Ben and Miles Matheson to find out if they know anything about why the power went out. His mandate is to bring them back home.
To Monroe.
To Monroe. And so he rides into a village and he finds Ben, and through a series of circumstance, Ben goes down and he is left empty-handed. He takes the son. He knows that is going to piss his boss off. So underneath his steely exterior, he's a bit nervous about coming up short, but he wants to get back home to his wife and his son, and he's determined that what he has to offer should be enough to save his own life.
And from what you're saying and from watching the show, it seems that both of them are not necessarily cut and dry villains. That at least in their own eyes, or that maybe they're not the villains.
I think that's the beauty of what Eric does. I mean, I don't think that the heroes consider themselves complete heroes, and nor the villains villainous. He's basically tried and succeeded in creating real people, like two sides of a coin, the yin yang. So it's our motivations feel justified when you're playing them. I mean, they're horrifying consequences, but that's part of Eric's charm as a writer.
Yeah, you are in a very comfortable world here. We're in a very comfortable room having a very civilized conversation. However, we're in a world of revolution. We have anti-heroes and anti-villains.
Yeah.
And so that's a layering of complicated human beings, which I think is what the audience wants to see.
Yeah. And talking about the premise, so electricity goes out and we're 15 years on. Was that something that attracted you? Because as soon as you read that idea, that's the premise of this new show, you want to watch it. So I imagine
it can't help but make you think. I mean, we're so reliant on technology as it stands, like our mobile phones, our computers, and so on, the internet. It's so if all that was to stop, what would happen? How far have we removed ourselves from the environment, and how could we survive as a result? I mean, that's a fascinating premise.
Eric Kripke has fashioned it in a beautiful way. He has set up the big question, what if? And it makes you think about how it relates to you. And I think that's the important piece of the show. At the core, again, the what if is surrounded by a family moral drama with a lot of explosions and reason for them, non-gratuitous, I would say. And it's exciting for me, it was a very exciting concept, just hoping it didn't veer off into, too much of the sci-fi world. Obviously, we're attracting people by the scientific nature of the show, and it fascinates me that it could happen.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways that the show could go just by little minor tweaks to that premise as well, I guess.
Oh,
Absolutely,
my goodness.
Yeah. And by the time we get to episode 20, it's once again the game has been reset. So we can go and explore these other worlds and other characters and other motivations. So it's going to be interesting.
And moving away from Revolution for a second, it occurred to me before the interview that you both have links in some ways to Community. So Giancarlo, you were in 2 episodes. I don't know, David, whether you're aware of the jokes on Community about the Cape.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, wow.
The Cape has been a big part of the of Community. Yeah, that one of the characters is a big fan of the Cape and was convinced that it was going to go on for 6 seasons in a movie, which is where Community has got its catchphrase from.
I wasn't as convinced. So.
Do you think you could go back for another guest spot, drag David along? Because I'm sure
there we go.
I'd love to. We have fun together, so that would be. I just have to familiarize myself with the Cape. Once David brings me up to speed, we'll be right back there on Community for you.
It's buried.
Do you have fond memories of the Cape?
I do. Yeah, I had a great time doing it. It was a lot of work. And so it's. I look at Billy and Tracy and see what they're doing now and think, oh, I'm so glad I'm not doing that because it was so physical and but it was fantastic. I had a great time.
And Giancarlo, obviously, ask you about one of your other really big shows that I imagine you're still fielding questions about all the time. You were on Sesame Street at the start of your career.
Right.
Well, I thought you were going to say something else. I love it. Yes, I was on Sesame
How
Street.
long ago?
I was Big Bird's camp counselor.
How was that?
When I was...
That seems like the ultimate job.
12 years old, 14 years old. And then went back when I was 17 years old. It was wonderful to do that. I learned a lot from acting with a Big Bird. Carol Finney, who is Big Bird, is still around and still doing it. And it taught me that acting's physical. It taught me that you could read the phone book and be interesting, and very important to connect. And so, imagine me as a kid, Mickey, looking up at a Big Bird nose with a funny voice, connecting with that. And if I could do that, I could do this, baby.
And obviously, I have to ask you about Breaking Bad as well. Are you still watching? Are you still keeping up?
I do keep up. I do love that show and the creators of it. I think it was seamlessly done and will go down in the annals of history as being one of the best shows ever on television. I'm fortunate to have been a part of that for more than 2 seasons, the end of the second, third season, and in the 4th season, which I think will be regarded as the penultimate season of that show. Just a great example of what you can do with creativity and art, linking it to life and humanity.
I concur. It's fantastic.
Are you a fan of Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Are you still in touch with Vince? Is there any?
I am, yeah.
Any chance of maybe a reference to Gus or a flashback or anything?
It's hard to say. In the world of Revolution, I have to say very simply and clearly, I have switched allegiances.
And then, aside from that, what are your other favourite TV shows at the moment? Do you have anything that you really like to watch or box?
I'm really smashing Game of Thrones at the moment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you up to date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm horrified. I'm absolutely horrified.
When do you have time?
Well, look, if you're sitting behind a desk for every scene, you do one a week, you got time. I can watch a few series at once. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do have a bit of time, and that's the one that really got me.
Awesome.
And getting back to Revolution, is there any way you'd like to see your characters go in the next season? Anything particularly you'd like to do on the show that you haven't done yet?
Well, I mean, I'm glad that my character is out from behind the desk and that he's outside, and that he's shirked that kind of the cloak of responsibility in a way, so he can go on a bit of a journey himself. But there's a couple of things that he needs to sort out. One is his son, and the other is probably the love of a good woman. But
hey, come on, you've had some of that already.
No,
well, not a good woman.
I keep going after Miles.
Maybe a loose
women.
woman.
Exactly.
So, what about you, Giancarlo?
Yeah.
I just want to be him.
It's a tough life.
20 years younger, tighter skin, high and tight, beautiful smile. That's all. Beautiful blue eyes. I want to be David.
Well, I'll look forward to that transformation next season.
Yeah.
It can happen, you know. We're actors. We can do it. There was an actor from, oh my gosh, the 16th century. I don't remember his name. He could move his face in all these weird different directions. That's the kind of acting I want to do.
Quasimodo.
But yeah, something like that. No, I want to really suss out the relationship with my son and figure out how to get him to understand that blood is thicker than water, and that we have to have a world that has some kind of order. I also want to be challenged this season with trying to create that order and maybe passing or failing as it should be, whatever the case may be. I also want to be able to have a little bit more empathy for people and see the underbelly of what are Tom Neville's intentions.
Okay, well, look forward to all of that. Thank you very much for speaking to me, and good luck with Revolution Season 2.
Thank you.
We like to talk to you. You know that?
Sorry.
We just like to talk to you.